Thank you for joining me, Ashwin Berry, on NMH at 1. In this lunch hour, we will highlight the news-making headlines in Namibia and beyond, ranging from current affairs to community stories, sports and economic news. Here are the news headlines. Tunacor Fisheries Limited, Etosha Fishing employees state dissatisfaction with management and petition line ministry. University of Namibia today launches a grid-tied solar plant project, and South Koreans become younger under new age counting law. Stay with us as we head into the midday update. The University of Namibia today launched a grid-tied solar plant project designed by Inceptus Energy, which is aimed at providing sustainable, reliable and cost-effective electricity to the university. According to a statement, the solar plant will be installed at each of the university's 12 campuses and be connected to the grid, offsetting energy consumption during peak hours. Visual News brings you local stories from across Namibia right after the break.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toivon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
The workers of Tunacor Fisheries Limited and Etosha Fishing yesterday expressed their dissatisfaction with their managements for not looking into employees' complaints, among other demands, in a petition addressed to the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources. Nikano Nangolo from the Erongo office reports.
We request the Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources together with the Minister of Labour, Industrialization and Employment Creation to look into the following Tunacor employees' complaints. The complaints are as follows. Workers want Tunacor Fisheries to establish a trust fund for the workers. Tunacor Fisheries Limited is one of the oldest fishing fund company in the fishing industry, and this company has no any trust fund for the employees. Many companies in the fishing industry have established a trust fund for their employees, and those workers who work at that factories are benefiting from the trust fund each year. Tunacor Fisheries Limited received reasonable quota of hake and horse mackerel fish, but the workers are not benefiting in any of these profit sharing arrangements. We request the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources to allocate at least 10% of the quota which Tunacor receive every year to the trust fund of the workers, so that Tunacor workers will start benefiting from the profit which each of workers in the fishing industry are benefiting from. That is only the best option for the workers to feel that they are the party of the company and that they are benefiting from the natural resources of the country. Another issue is this, which we want the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources and the Minister of Labour Industrialization to investigate as soon as possible, is that on 30 May 2023, a company operates at the premises of Tunacor Fisheries known as TFL Fresh Fishing Enterprises Pty Limited, fixed term and contract employees. The notice of retrenchment ran from 1st of June 2023 to the 30th of June 2023. And before the notice expired, the workers who were given a notice of retrenchment were informed that they will be re-employment, again with the contract of Africa Personal Service, which is APS, a labor hire company with the history of exploited the workers. We do not want any labor hire to take over work at Tunacor. Tunacor Fisheries Management is fully involved in the management of TFL Fisheries Pty Limited. And some manager of Tunacor are the owner of TFL Fisheries Fishing Pty Limited.
Yes.
TFL Fisheries Fishing Enterprises workers are also involved in processing of fish for Tunacor Fisheries Limited. And this means that Tunacor Limited at some point employ workers of Fisheries to process high quota, which was given to Tunacor. Fisheries is also paid workers a starving salary. This company pays the workers $14 per hour, which is very, very low compared to the rate which other companies are paying in the fishing industry.
After the break, Namibian Sun leads us into the newspaper review segment. Stay with NMH at 1.
To another exciting episode of Top Jullie is weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik gaan byt.
Namibian Sun's front page reports that according to a Rundu-based prosecutor, the strangest reason why a suspect committed murder was because they had a vision in which the victims appeared and allegedly bewitched him. This is just one of many motivations that have led to senseless killings in the Kavango regions over the years. A Namibian Sun probe uncovered that the majority of the killings committed in these regions are a result of suspects being under the influence of alcohol and drugs, jealousy, revenge, lack of emotional intelligence, seeking assistance from so-called traditional and spiritual leaders, and killing for body parts, supposedly in search for riches, are among the factors topping the list as to why lives are cut short in Kavango East and Kavango West. Many lifeless bodies have been found floating in the Kavango River with missing parts. Now, legal scholar John Nakuta says children should be protected at all costs, especially during the current LGBTQ+I High Court saga. In the matter, Frido Dausab is challenging the compatibility of the common law offense of sodomy and related offenses with his rights under Namibian constitution. In an interview with Namibian Sun, Nakuta made reference to images from a recent Pride March circulating on social media, which show a young boy holding a poster that reads, "Abolish sodomy law." According to him, it is unacceptable to have children fighting these battles. On to Republican. The Windhoek High Court yesterday ruled that controversial Chinese lithium mining company Xinfeng Investments is entitled to retain its mining license for its open pit mine outside Omaruru, but it must explain how it obtained the permit. This amid allegations that the license was fraudulently acquired, which was the basis of Mines Minister Tom Alwendo's decision to withdraw it. The Anti-Corruption Commission wants the Vice-Chancellor of the Namibia University of Science and Technology, Dr. Irod Naumab, probed for corruption, maladministration and mismanagement. This was revealed in a letter in which the ACC requested the NAST Council to act on the matter, reports the Afrikaans Daily. Algemene Zeitung leads with the Health Defense League HDL claims that individuals have not been adequately informed about COVID-19 vaccines and their potential side effects to make an informed decision. HDL Chairman Martin Vucha claims that there is reliable information that vaccine administration can pose a significant risk to humans. On to page 2, AZ reports on the Supreme Court verdict in the horse vaccination dispute between the former owners of New Hayes Stud Farm. The lawsuit and appeal filed by Suzanne Hoff, who was convicted of attempted murder of her ex-husband in 2017, but went to court against him in another matter in 2018, seeking around $1 million Namibian in damages, has thus failed. Stay with us as we continue with the Namibian after the break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
The Namibian reports that the Institute for Public Policy Research has praised a proposed law that would enable the state to examine whether people's lifestyles match their earnings or salaries. Justice Minister Yvonne Dowsab last week tabled a bill to amend the Prevention of Organized Crime Act that facilitates lifestyle audits, including the recognition of unexplained wealth orders. Members of Parliament have raised concerns about a proposed law that would empower the police chief to share personal information with foreign law enforcement agencies. The objections were voiced in Parliament this week when lawmakers debated the amendment tabled by Deputy Minister of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security, Daniel Kashikola, last week. In the new era, the affirmative repositioning movement, under the leadership of its activist Joba Mopanda, has demanded that Hyphen Hydrogen Energy immediately waives a payment requirement for government to obtain a 24% equity stake in the green hydrogen project. This is according to a letter of demand from the law firm Kadila Momo Legal Practitioners, acting on behalf of AR. In a letter dated 23 June 2023, Mopanda, through the law firm, demands all negotiation proceedings, contractual formulations and agreements be made available to the public or to Parliament. Small livestock and crop farmers in the south and central eastern parts of the country have been warned to take extra precaution against an advancing massive cold front, which will see towns such as Roshpinam, Aus and others receiving heavy winter rain showers. According to predictions by the Namibia Meteorological Services, winter showers of between 50 millimeters and 100 millimeters are expected to hit most of the southern parts of the country and could last for the whole week. Andrada Mining Limited, which operates the US mine in Namibia, reported an increase of 50% in tin concentrate in the first 3 months of its financial year compared to the same quarter in 2022. In the quarter ended 31 May 2023, US produced up to 359,000 tons of tin concentrate versus 239 tons in the same quarter in 2022. Engineering company Kratz recently signed a substantive agreement with the Metal and Allied Namibian Workers Union in Walvis Bay. Details on this agreement follow as we head into economic news.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
To another exciting episode of Irongo Talk. Dit is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik kan byt.
The substantive agreement signed between engineering company Kratz and the Metal and Allied Namibian Workers Union in Walvis Bay will be effective from the 1st of July 2023 to 30 June 2024 and applies to all 47 bargaining unit employees of Kratz, a subsidiary of the Oldhaver and List Group. The agreement stipulates the bargaining unit employees are to receive a basic salary increase of 6.5% and a transport allowance increase of 220 Namibian dollars to equate to a total of 520 Namibian dollars. According to Kefas Shangala, the shop steward chairperson, the bargaining unit employees are happy with the 6.5% and the wage negotiations went well overall. Stay with us as we have a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 18.66 next to the US dollar, with 23.68 Namibian dollars getting you 1 British pound. MTC stock is down 0.10%, whilst the ANIREP Namibia Asset Management and Namibia Breweries Limited maintained their value. Local index closed up by 1.13%, whilst the overall index closed down 1.27%. Looking at commodities, gold, copper and platinum all made downturns, whilst Brent crude oil made an uptick of 0.19%. The Kenyan government has completed the third phase of post-mortems on the bodies believed to be followers of a cult. More on this after the break in News from Africa.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toivon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
The Kenyan government has completed the third phase of post-mortems on the bodies believed to be followers of a cult led by Paul Mackenzie Ntenge. The process of exhumation had been halted until there was enough capacity to store the autopsy more bodies. So far, 338 post-mortems have been carried out on the bodies exhumed from the expansive Shakahola forest, which is linked to the cult, 201 of which were adults, 117 were children, but the ages of 20 others could not be established because they were badly decomposed. At least 600 people are still missing, according to the Kenya Red Cross. A ruling to determine how long Mr. Mackenzie and 28 other suspects, including his wife, will remain in police custody will be delivered on the 3rd of July. Zimbabwe's old enemy, triple-digit inflation, is back after annual inflation doubled to almost 176% in June. Consumer groups say the average family needs about $1 million Zimbabwe dollars for food alone every month as prices rise almost daily. Most people are struggling to afford groceries or are skipping meals, according to the NGO Action Aid. The Zimbabwean government blames currency speculators for the crash of the Zimbabwe dollar, which has lost more than 90% of its value since January. The US dollar is also legal tender and most people prefer it, thus causing the local currency to lose value. The government recently directed authorities to impose some duties and taxes exclusively in local currency in a hope that it would increase demand for the beleaguered Zimbabwean dollar. Stay with us as we head into international news with focus on Ukraine and the Wagner Group. Attention in the Ukrainian capital has been fixed squarely on the mutiny of the Wagner Group, its leader Yevgeny Prigozhin, and its consequences for Vladimir Putin and the conduct of the war in Ukraine. The drama over the border in Russia has hardened the view in Kyiv that Mr. Putin's time as Russia's president is coming to an end. I think the countdown has started, said Andriy Yermak, President Zelensky's closest advisor. At a briefing in Kyiv, he looked back to the year that Russia first invaded Ukraine, annexing the Crimean Peninsula. Senior Ukrainian officials who spoke to the BBC in Kyiv all argued that President Putin could not ride out a catastrophic loss of authority. South Koreans have become a year or two younger as a new law aligns the nation's two traditional age counting methods with international standards. The law scraps one traditional system that deemed South Koreans 1 year old at birth, counting time in the womb. Another counted everyone as aging by a year every first day of January instead of on their birthdays. The switch to age counting based on birth date took effect today. President Yoon Suk-yeol pushed strongly for the change when he ran for office last year. The traditional age counting methods created unnecessary socio-economic costs, he said. For instance, disputes have risen over insurance payouts and determining eligibility for government assistance programs. I wonder what that means for their horoscopes. Stay with us as we head into local news, sports.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Let's get into local sport. We start off with some rugby. Namibia's under-16 rugby team proved too strong for border country districts on match day 2 of the Grand Como week with a 45-19 win yesterday. Windhoek High School lock Jathan Orange, who scored 2 tries, was named player of the match. As they await September to find out if they have qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations, Namibia's Brave Warriors have shifted their focus to the COSAFA Championship. The tournament is being held in South Africa for the 6th consecutive year and will run from 5 to 16 July in Durban, with the Warriors getting right into training action after a somewhat shaky lost Group C AFCON match where they lost 3-2 to Burundi. Cricket Namibia has announced the upcoming Castle Light series against Uganda, scheduled to take place from 5 to 13 July. The highly anticipated Castle Light series will feature 4 exciting T20 matches from 5 to 9 July, followed by 2 thrilling 50-over matches on 11 and 13 July. We start off with Football Australia as we head into international sports after this short break.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toivon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts, and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com, and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
To another exciting episode of Irongo Chobi. Jou is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik kan byt.
Let's get into international sport. Football Australia chief James Johnson believes FIFA's expanded Club World Cup is going to be a big success and is mulling a joint bid with New Zealand to host the second edition in 2029. Australia and New Zealand will co-host the Women's World Cup in July and August this year, and Johnson has already said that could be a springboard for a joint bid for the men's version, possibly in 2034. The first edition of the expanded 32-team Club World Cup will take place in the United States in 2025. Third-seeded Jessica Pegula and fifth-seeded Coco Gauff each recorded straight-set wins to advance to the second round of the Rothsay International on Tuesday in Eastbourne, England. Pegula and Gauff could meet in the quarterfinals provided they win their second-round matches today against Colombian qualifier Camila Osorio and lucky loser Jodie Burrage of Great Britain, respectively. And Banyana will face Botswana in a friendly international to be played at Tsakane Stadium in the East Rand on Sunday. The Banyana match will be used as a send-off for the SALSO-sponsored South African senior women's national team as they prepare to travel to FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand next month. If you're just joining us, this is NMH at 1, and we'll get into the highlights from today's broadcast right after this.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Welcome to Active Kids, a daily TV show that sparks creativity, learning, and fun for young minds. With exciting activities and lessons, Active Kids inspires curiosity and a love for learning.
New face to the 150.
The perfect mix of play and education. Don't miss out on the fun. Tune into Active Kids on NTV every weekday at 10 o'clock and let the adventure begin.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Let's get into the highlights from this afternoon's broadcast. The Kenyan government has completed phase 3 of post-mortems on the bodies believed to be followers of a starvation cult led by Paul Mackenzie Ntenge. The mutiny of the Wagner Group in Russia raised attention in Ukraine, with senior Ukrainian officials arguing that President Putin could not ride out a catastrophic loss of authority. And Namibia's under-16 rugby team proved too strong for border country districts on match day 2 of the Grand Como week with a 45-19 win yesterday. Those have been your highlights. Remember to tune in every weekday at 1 p.m. to spend your lunch hour with NMH at 1, catching up on the latest news in Namibia, Africa, and the world, ranging from current affairs to economic news, sports, and international headlines. It's goodbye from us in studio.